The Panasonic Lumix S5IIX was released in June 2023. Is it still worth it in 2025? Well, I've been using it for 9 months now, and there's still one big issue that I'm struggling to come to terms with. More about that later. Hey, I'm Sanjay. I'm a videographer and podcast producer based in the UK, and last year I made a pretty big switch in my gear. I sold all my Sony cameras and lenses and picked up 2 Lumix S5IIXs and a bunch of glass. This was a drastic change, and you can watch this video to learn why I did that. Now today I want to share my real-world experience of using these cameras, and I'm going to be focusing mainly on video since that's what I do professionally. Now let's get straight into it. Let me talk about the main positives of the S5IIX. The number one reason I switched from Sony, you guessed it, overheating. As someone who shoots long-form podcasts, we're talking 1 to 2 hours, and corporate events that can run all day, reliability is absolutely crucial, and it's something that the Sony a7 IV just did not give me. The internal fan on the S5IIX has been a lifesaver. In 9 months of heavy use, I've not had a single overheating issue, and the fan is so quiet I've actually never heard it running. The utility of this camera is phenomenal. My second favourite feature is external SSD recording. Why oh why do more cameras not offer this feature? I just do not understand. It's literally revolutionised my workflow. Imagine getting 20 plus hours of 6K footage onto a single SSD. No more swapping cards mid-session, no more storage anxiety. Yes, it's got dual SD card slots, but the ability to record straight to an SSD and not have to wait for hours for the footage to transfer is incredible. Not only that, SSD storage is way cheaper than fast SD cards required to record at the higher codecs, so that's a big win. Quick tip, I highly recommend using a cable clamp to secure that USB-C connection. Better be safe than sorry. Now this next one caught me by surprise. Being able to record proxy files in real time is something I never thought I would use. However, it saved me a bunch of time in post-production, and more importantly, it allows me to share footage for review with collaborators or other editors without having to send large 4K or 6K files over the internet. On top of that, it's got Frame.io integration, which is just mad. Now, if you don't know what Frame.io is, it's a really cool tool that's owned by Adobe that allows you to send edits to collaborators or clients or whoever you want really for easy review and feedback. They get a simple link, they can watch the video or watch the footage, and they can make their comments onto the timeline there and then. They can tell you to make edits, they can request color grade changes, they can do whatever they want. Now it integrates really nicely with DaVinci Resolve, and then those edits or their requests will appear on your timeline without you having to go and figure out where they want to make those edits. It's really been game changing. Anyway, the S5IIX can upload your proxies to Frame.io whilst you're recording, which is amazing. Now, the amount of codec options that you have in this camera can be overwhelming, but I think it's a benefit. You can record in 6K open gate for maximum flexibility. You've got various 4K options, including the all-intra codec, Cinema 4K, and more. It's got ProRes internal recording, and even Blackmagic RAW when you output via the HDMI to a Blackmagic Assist external monitor. I personally love the 6K open gate as it allows me to shoot all content in landscape and just repurpose it any way I want. Really, really useful. Now, audio is something I've always recorded externally, and I still do that. However, there have been occasions where the XLR module has been really, really useful. Not only is it more affordable than Sony's offering, which is only available on the FX3 and the FX30, but it's incredibly capable. While I still use my external recorder for certain situations, the preamps in this XLR module are really good. It takes 2 XLR mics and has a bunch of controls on there to allow you to change the audio and the sound the way that you want it. And it also allows for 4 channels of audio recorded internally. Now, it's not 32-bit float like the newer module that was released for the GH7 recently, which would have been nice. One of the nicest surprises was the image quality straight out of the camera. I'll be honest, I was nervous moving to a new system having shot in Sony for so long, and I shot on S-Log3 pretty much all the time. And now I use the V-Log. Now V-Log, in my opinion, and I know that video quality and image quality is very subjective, but for me, V-Log footage has been a lot easier to color grade than S-Log3. Now on some occasions, I've even used just the standard picture profile for really quick turnaround projects, and I've been really, really impressed with the image straight out of the camera. Now, it's also got this real-time LUT function, which is found on most Lumix cameras. Now, I've yet to experiment with this on video, although I have used it for photography, and it's been really useful. I shoot in RAW and JPEG, and I burn a look into the JPEGs, which are available to share immediately on social media, with zero editing, which is really, really nice. One of the things that made me hesitate about moving to Lumix was the range of lens options. This is something I see a lot of other people complain about. However, my experience with the native Lumix prime lenses and the zoom lenses has been flawless. They are small, light. The prime lenses have a 1.8 aperture. They all have a 67mm thread, and in my opinion, they're not that expensive. More recently, there have been a lot more third-party options, which is nice to see. I recently picked up this 7 Artisans 35mm 1.4 manual focus lens, which I'm really enjoying for some casual photography. The main lens I use is the Lumix 24-105, which I absolutely love. The focal range, image quality, build quality is up there with the best. And Lumix, of course, is part of the L-mount alliance along with Sigma, so every Sigma lens is available for this camera, which really opens up the choice that you have. Now, of course, a major factor when you're making a switch like this is the cost. And the price and value of this camera is, in my opinion, really, really good. At the time of recording this video, which is in early to mid 2025, you can find a body brand new for around 1,700 UK pounds. Or even £1,400 used. Now, given the feature set, that is incredible, and you can often find bundle deals with the 20-60mm kit lens and the 50mm 1.8 prime, which is what I went for, and that's really, really good value. So what's the catch? Well, there's always a catch, right? No camera's perfect, so here are some of the things that I wish it had or things that I would improve. For a video-centric camera, not having a front tally light is honestly baffling. There's plenty of space on this body, and this should have been a no-brainer in my opinion. There's only one USB-C port, so you have to make a choice. Use USB-C power or record to an external SSD. Luckily, there is an easy workaround using the Panasonic USB-C to dummy battery adapter. Having two USB ports would have been a much more elegant solution, however. And this next one is something that I'm used to, having come from the Sony a7 IV. There is a crop when you record in 4K 60. Now, it's manageable, but just something you need to keep in mind when you're planning your shots. It would have been more convenient not to have it. The big issue I mentioned at the start, this one really caught me off guard. The HDMI output lag is noticeable. I mean really noticeable. I actually thought that my cameras, both of them, were faulty at first, but no, that's just how it is. It really had me regretting my decision to switch, as the Sony's HDMI output was flawless. It's a tough one to swallow if you're coming from the Sony system, and if you're someone that's used to using external monitors, which I am. If you shoot fast-moving action like sports, this one might be a deal breaker for you. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Now, for my specific use case, which is podcasts, corporate events, and long-form content, this camera has been an absolute workhorse. Despite its little quirks, the combination of the internal fan, the external SSD recording, and the overall image quality makes it a really compelling choice today in 2025. Now, would I make the switch again today? Absolutely I would. The camera feels future-proof with its 6K capabilities, robust codec options, and its reliability. If you've used this camera or you're thinking about switching, drop me a comment below. Let me know if there's anything else I didn't cover that you'd like to know more about. I'm going to be doing more content about this camera, the lenses, and all the other accessories that I've purchased very, very soon, so don't forget to subscribe to catch when those videos drop. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.